Alright, in this video we're going to cover some of the basics of animation. So to begin with, we're just going to work with a simple rectangle. I could go up and select rectangle from the toolbar, but don't forget that there's shortcuts. Press R for rectangle, and I can just draw it out without having to go up and do that. And then P for push-pull. And we'll just create some sort of a rectangle. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to rotate it. I'm going to show you first that this isn't going to work correctly. So I'm going to put my rotate axis on here, select here, and then try to rotate this up. Notice that as I rotate, the object gets distorted, and that's not what we want. So I'm going to escape from that. And what we need to do first is to make a group out of the object. So I'm going to select the object, right click, and you can either make it into a component or into a group. If you're going to make multiple copies of it and make changes that you want to be reflected in all the copies, then you should make it a component. Otherwise, just make it a group. So I'm going to click on group, and now if I go to do my rotate command, click on it, now I can rotate it. Notice that it rotates properly. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the copy rotate. So it works just like the copy move, where we use when we do the copy move, you click on the move and then you hold your control button. We're going to do the same thing here. But first I'm going to set an angle for it to go to. So I'm going to go to the protractor mode. I'm going to go to the same sort of thing. And then I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to type in my angle. I'm going to type in 15 degrees for now. Now if I go to my rotate, click on it, and I'm going to hold the control button. Notice that now once I press the control button, that the original stays there, and now I can go up and click on the line, and now I've got two. Before I do anything else, now what I can do is I can do an array of it, a fuller array. So I'm going to type in how many copies or how many total I want to have, and so I'm going to type in 6x. There. So now I've got 6 copies, 7 objects in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 6 times 15 is 90 degrees, and so now I've got this thing rotating 90 degrees. I'm just going to show you another way to do that. So I'm going to Control Z. Instead, what I could have done, I'm just going to erase the construction line. I could also rotate my grouped object and type in 90 degrees. Oh, I'm just going to Control Z that and do it again. Click, and don't forget to hold the control button. And now I could go take it up to 90 degrees, and then before I do anything else, I could type in 6 / as in 6 divide. You can see down in the bottom right hand corner what I've done, and now what it does is it puts 6 in between. So again, I've got a total of 7 objects. Now we're going to use these objects to do our animation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to Window, go up to Scenes, listen to your view, and I'm going to add scenes. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now what we're going to do is we're going to hide the objects that we don't want to see in each of the scenes. So I'm going to go back to scene 1, and there I want to see only the bottom one. So I'm going to go to the Select tool, and I'm going to click on, I'm going to hold my control button, so I'm going to keep adding to the selection set, and then I can say hide. Now I've got exactly what I want. So then I can right click on the scene and say update, and that's my scene. Actually, I'm going to also turn off the axes so that I won't have that in any of the views. So I'm going to right click and update the scene there as well. This comes up quite often, as I find it seems to work best just to say do nothing to save changes, and we will then move on to scene number 2. And move on to scene number 2, and notice that everything's still there. So we've got to select the ones that we don't want. Hold the Control key, select each of those, right click, and hide. And this is going to give us what is called Stopframe Animation. Oh, notice I stuck on the last one. My Control key, I forgot to update. And if you forget to update, then you'll lose that change. So I'm going to right click, hide those ones, and then right click and update the scene, and say update scene, and move on to scene 3, and go through the same process for each one. Again, this is going to give us what's called Stopframe Animation. It will make it look like it's animated, but in reality we're not truly animating. Move on to scene number 4. Hide, and then update, and on to scene number 5. You can see that this, depending on how smooth you want your animation to be, you just add more steps to it. But that also adds a lot of time to you creating your animation. So you just got to try to figure out what will be best to create your animation. Okay, so now we'll take a look at the animation. So we'll click back to scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, scene 4, scene 5, scene 6. And something went wrong on scene 6, so I need to go back and change that one. I think I forgot to hit update again. Turn back. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like I've got something off there, but you get the point. Just to keep this thing moving on. And then we can go to animation. We can play the animation. We'll do the play. And notice that it takes a second for it to start. And it starts wherever I left off. So now it goes back to scene 1. And works its way through scene 2, 3, and so on. I'm going to stop the video there. And we can change the animation settings. So if we go to View, Animation Settings, we can change the transition between the scenes, and we can also change the delay between them. So I'm going to make it a 0 delay, and I'm going to leave it at 2 seconds just to see how it looks. And then we can go back and we can see what our animation looks like. And it moves in steps, but you can see that you can get it to look as if something's actually moving. I'm going to stop the video there, and then we'll pick up and do some additional